Hello, class and Professor Hill. Sorry I couldn't be there with you today. Um, I have a couple baseball games, so that's where I'm at. I'm going to go ahead and go over my unit plan. I'm going to go through each lesson. I'm going to start with the first one here. It's titled, What is the Food Pyramid? My unit is called Food Pyramid Power, so it's all going to be about nutrition and food and what goes into the children's body. Um, First lesson is about we're going to start with a KWL chart. Students are going to walk into the classroom, they'll sit down. I will tell them that today we're going to be starting our food pyramid nutrition unit. I'm going to hand out the KWL sheet to them, so they're going to fill it out, the first two parts, and then I will tell them as the unit goes on, we're going to come back and we're going to add things to the learned part of the KWL. So as we do that, we're going to make one as a class too. Like, going to get a giant piece of paper that they have in classrooms. Going to make a giant one as a class, and we're going to hang that up. So as we learn new things, we can refer back to it and write on there and have it for everybody to see in the classroom. So after I do that, we're going to go ahead and read The Bernstein Bears, Too Much Junk Food. It's a children's book. It's about somebody eating too much junk food. The Bernstein Bears eating too much junk food, actually. As I go through it, I'm going to have the students make sure that they're paying attention and tell them we're going to have some questions about just comprehension and what you learned from it. So I will ask those questions to the students after I finish reading the book to them. I'm going to move on to, then after we finish and after I answer the questions, I'm going to model for the students the next part of what we're going to be doing in the class that day, which is we're going to be talking about some of our prior knowledge of nutrition and what we know about it and what we already knew about it. So I'm going to tell them some stuff that I know about it, how certain kind of diets I try to stay to, and what I like to eat and what I try to avoid. And then I'll go ahead and ask not each, but a good amount of students in the classroom to just share what they know and what they already know about food nutrition. And then lastly, before the students leave, they're going to go ahead and fill out a 3-2-1 paper. 3 things they knew, 3 new things that they learned, 2 things they already knew, and 1 question they still have. And I'll have them turn that in before they leave class that day. And then for homework that night, they're going to keep a list of food that they ate. And then tomorrow in class, they're going to start to categorize in which food groups it falls into when they start to learn about the food groups. The next lesson is the one that I made the video on. I videotaped myself teaching it to a couple of students that I worked with, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I'll go on to the third lesson since you guys already saw the second one. You saw me actually teach it, so here's the third one. And this one, the students are going to be learning a rap actually about food and nutrition, and yeah, it's a funny rap, but I think it's going to help them learn a little bit about the food pyramid. So they're going to start today with coming into the classroom. I'm going to have them sit down, and I'm actually going to I'm going to rap the first part of the rap for the students, and we're going to see how they like it. I'm going to model for them. We'll see how I do. I'm not much of a singer, so we'll see how that goes. That's going to move me into the central focus, where we're going to break the students up into different sections. They're going to try and memorize this rap. Obviously, they're not going to have, they have 22 minutes in class to learn it, so they won't be able to memorize it. I'll let them use the paper with the rap on it to recite at the end of class. Once they kind of get a little bit of it down, they're going to write a mini lesson, or not a mini lesson, a mini essay on something that they learned from their section of the rap. So just a couple sentences on what they thought was important from their part, just to get them thinking about that kind of stuff. So then I'm going to bring them all back together. Um, as they come back together, I'm gonna let them know that we're gonna sing or rap the rap as a class. So before I let them leave that day, we're going to go ahead and we're gonna, as a classroom, we're going to rap out the food pyramid rap, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. Um, and for closure, yeah, we're gonna do that, and that's about it for that one. For independent practice, I'm gonna have them go home and either they're gonna draw out what they ate for dinner and label what each thing is, or they're going to categorize their dinner in the 6 different food groups that they learned about in the second lesson, the one that I taught to the entire class. Moving on to the 4th lesson. Fourth lesson is that they are going to go ahead and take a report card, and they're going to go to the cafeteria, and they're going to grade the cafeteria food, their lunch food, on whether it's a balanced plate or not. So they're going to come into class to start the day. I'm going to post a question on the whiteboard. It's going to be, do you enjoy the food that the cafeteria provides for you? I'm going to give them a couple minutes to answer that, and then I'm going to call on a couple of students just to share their answers, see what they say. Then I'm going to let them know the central focus. They're going to be using a report card in the cafeteria to decide whether or not the cafeteria provided a balanced meal that day. I'm going to model for them. I'm going to show them on the Elmo the report card. I'm going to have it filled out from last night from my dinner, so I could just show them like each section, what I'm looking for, the check marks and all that stuff, and I'll have my meal that I ate the night before filled in. So it'll just give them an example of what I'm looking for. So then I will hand out the report cards to the students. I'll ask the students if they have any questions before they go, and then I'm going to send them to lunch. And then when they come back from lunch, we're going to go over what they found. So we're going to discuss it as a class, what each student thought. We're going to kind of get a group discussion going on what they think, if it was balanced, if it wasn't, if they could do better or not. And then after that, we're going to write a letter to the principal, whether or not the students think that we should change the meals at the cafeteria and try and make them more balanced, more healthy, all this stuff. So we'll have the students do that. They're going to fill those out, and then for closure, I'm going to remind the students that they did not finish their letter. They're going to have to finish it for homework and bring it back the next day, because I'll be collecting it for a grade. So that's their independent practice and their closure for that day. And then my last, here I'll show you this is the report card that they're going to use for the cafeteria food. You just label your foods right in here, whatever you ate that day, and then you're just going to mark down which one it is. At the end, you're going to, if you have them all 5 different kinds, it's obviously going to be a balanced meal. Come down here, the report card part, is it balanced? Did you have the milk? Did you have fruit? Did you have all this different stuff? So pretty simple. Students just fill it out and decide whether it's balanced or not. And moving on to my last lesson here. In the last lesson, students are going to go ahead and they're going to start the day by playing My Pyramid Go Fish. So I have a set of Go Fish cards of different fruits and grains and vegetables and all these different kinds of foods. They're going to play Go Fish with a group of students. I'm going to break them up into different groups. After they do that, the anticipatory set, they're going to move on to the picking out the balanced meal. So I'll model this for them. I'll pick out a meal for myself. I'm going to give them a sheet of paper with just some foods on there and some prices and just some nutrition facts on there. So we'll do that. I'll pick out some food for myself that I would like to eat and that would hopefully be somewhat nutritious. Just trying to be an example for the students, but so I'll go ahead and I'll model that, and after that, I'll give the students the time to pick their meals, and I'm going to have them do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So they're going to have 3 different meals that they're going to fill out. as the students fill out their meals, I'll circle around and answer any questions or ask students if they need help or if they're understanding exactly what's going on. So all that good stuff. And then for closure that day, we're going to do a exit slip, and it's going to be what is the most important piece of information that you learned and why you think is the most important. So I'll just have the students write that down on a piece of notebook paper, and I'll have them turn it in before they leave that day. And yeah, that's my lesson plan, my lesson units. Yeah, see you guys soon.